Hey guys, it was from Frog Nation here. I'm gonna make a tier list for every season of Dimension 20 with the Intrepid heroes specifically. Yeah, let's jump into it. So, yeah, first off, I don't have Unsleeping City season 2 in there because I haven't watched Unsleeping City season 2. I've held myself back on watching Unsleeping City season 2 because I want something to go back to if I run out of Dimension 20 content. Like I want something there just so like I keep safe. So let's get into it. First off, we have Fantasy High season 1 freshman year. That was like the first season of the Intrepid Heroes I watched. The first Dimension 20 season I watched was Mentopolis. I saw like the hand green clips running around and I was like, okay, I want to watch this. And then I got clearly obsessed with Dimension 20 content. And the first season of the Intrepid Heroes I watched was Fantasy High. And holy shit, like that was the hook. That was the hook point for me for like I fell in love with all of the characters, all of the cast, and like in my heart it's an S tier, like even though it's probably as a story probably not. It's just the fact that this is what got me into it. But like since we're like judging on story beats and like how it is compared to the others, I would consider Fantasy High as an A tier. It's really, really good. It's one of my favorites still. I go back and watch all of the clips. Like, it still holds one of the most funniest moments from the series. And, like, Fantasy High as its own series is also very, very, very funny. So, I think it's an A tier. Moving on to Unsleeping City. Unsleeping City, I really like Unsleeping City, but I don't think probably me not being an American and like not knowing a lot of the culture is probably what that relatability factor was taken out of it. So there is a lot of funny moments. I love like Zach Oyama's character specifically a lot. Like Ricky Matsui is one of my favorite characters throughout the series. Kingston Brown, all of them were like really good, but that not being able to relate it on a personal level probably hindered my experience a bit. But that being said, it's still a really really good series, and like that final fight is still one of the most memorable fights in Dimension 20 history for me, because like the American Dream and like after the fight, like after Kaglash sacrifices himself and like Shibon sings all the Old Lang Syne.
And I continue the song. To old lang syne, my dear, to old lang syne, I raise a glass of no regrets for the sake of old lang syne. Goodbye, old friend.
Yeah, that's one of the best moments in Dimension 20, I think. For me personally, at least, I was like very, very like heartfelt and touching. I believe I cried to that moment. Yeah, like yeah, that's really good. Again, the only reason it's going on a B is because it's specifically not relatable to me. You're gonna see a lot of top threes only. It's probably just gonna be SAB, just putting it out there. I am extremely biased to this show. So you are very unlikely to see a C or a D. So next is Crown of Candy, which holy shit is Crown of Candy has broken my heart in tenfold multiple times. Holy shit, the amount of drama, the amount of like very memorable moments that this show put out, like um Lapan's big day. Holy shit, like, where's your bulb now? Avatar the Unfallen, Jets, the Ruby and Jets dynamic, Liam Willemena, like every character, like Theobald protecting the Rocks family, and like holy shit, everything from that season was like phenomenal. Like holy like that is one season that is hard to rewatch because how dark it gets, but it is one of the best, if not the best. I wouldn't say it's the personal favorite for me, but it's still up there. I'm debating whether to give it an S or an A, because holy shit, like every character in that season is remarkably memorable. And oh, there are so many like twists, and like the way Brennan is able to like make this world so believable, so remarkably like, and like I've seen Ravening War as well, so like Matt being able to expand on the world. So I'm still debating whether to give it an S. I think this will be our first S in this list. Okay. Next is Fantasy High sophomore year. I think sophomore year is funnier to me than Fantasy High season 1. It has so many moments of like pure chaos, and like Jungle Down Bim, Fabian, like fucking toxic masculinity is dead. Spring Break, I Believe in You, all of the Rag moments, all of the swim party, Ida Egg Fort, everything this happened in this season is like, it's a very bit heavy season, and it's like the stakes are high compared to I think season 1, where like season 1 everyone was like new to D&D, so like it took them a while to take it seriously, I think. And sophomore year, they as players got so much better, so much more into it. They like got into character. They like they were in the groove. I think the only thing that took away from sophomore year, and I think a lot of people would disagree with me here, is that Dimension 20 live was not a good idea. I think Dimension 20 benefits from being a lot of edited and like being able to see everyone's reaction properly. And I think showing it live diminished that, where like you couldn't highlight each player's reaction. So I think that's what keeps it away from being an S tier in my heart. Moving on to Startstruck Odyssey. This personally is my favorite season of Dimension 20 ever, because like it's so wacky, the world is so technical, like the Elaine Lee's Starstruck series is so, it's it and the season captures the essence of the world so beautifully. Like all of the characters are uh, so true to the world and so depressing at the same time. Like Gunny is, oh no, the story for Gunny is the story for Barry and I, and like so, oh, all of them are like so beautiful. Like all of them truly tragic stories in a truly wacky world, and like that contrast is shown so perfectly, and so funny, and so like action packed, and like that on the whole the fight, the what was it, the the Battle of the Brands, yes, that was the most intense and like unwinnable fight like truly an underdog story. Like the whole season like is basically the underdog story. Like these band of ragtag um basically losers who fight the way through and do what's right and come up on the top. And that's why it's my favorite season with so many bits. And the adventuring party for this season was so, so funny as well. So yeah, this no question, of course, S tier for me. Next up on the list is Neverafter. Neverafter is a season I thought I would love the most because I have like a huge love for like fairy tale stories, and mixing it with horror, thought it made the most sense. But for some reason, it didn't hit enough for me. There were like so many memorable moments though. I love like Murph's character, Gerald, and like the Little Red Riding Hood's relationship, or like Pib and Pinocchio. Everyone's characters were really good, and like the dynamic was really nice. But somehow it didn't hit for me. I don't know what exactly happened. I can't really put it into words, but I'm not saying it was a bad season. It was an amazing season. A lot of very funny moments, very like intense story beats. But I'm not sure what exactly. It wasn't as enjoyable as the other seasons for me. So I don't know if I want to give it a C. Because I don't want to give anything like less than a B, to be honest, but I think it would be only fair. This is obviously, again, personal opinion. This is how I felt about the show, and I don't think a lot of people will agree that Neverafter. I think a lot of people genuinely loved Neverafter. I'm just not one of those people. Next up is Fantasy High Junior Year. I know it's still airing. It's like what, we still have 9 more episodes to go. Like we're only like at the midpoint of the season, but so far it's taken every like the good part of Fantasy High and like made it much better. And I think all the players are much more comfortable with playing the characters now that like they've grown into these characters so long. They've been playing for so long, and uh, all of the bits that have come out just from the first 10 episodes is like super super funny to me. Like the Walter dimension, like Kristen and I, like fucking Fabian's relationship with Maisie, and every little like little moments that has been like so so funny. And like the plot specifically, this is a season that I've kept racking my head to like to try and understand what is happening, what could this be, what could that mean, what does Devil's Nectar, what is Obliviati Mori, what is this gonna do, how is this gonna come into play. Like this is the most mystery focused season of Fantasy High, which is inherently a mystery show, right? Where like it is them investigating stuff. And like I think this is the one where I've personally been most theorizing on. It could also be the fact that this is the first season I've kept up like weekly, so that could also be a factor, obviously. But I do think this is like the most plot heavy season that we've gotten, and probably a bit too early to say, but I am already giving this an S tier. Uh, like there is no way this is not gonna be amazing. I trust in Bren. I trust in all of the Intrepid heroes that this season has been so far amazing, and they can definitely stick the landing. I just love this series so much, man. Like everything, Every season they put out is so good. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it for the tier list. So we got Crown of Candy on S tier, Starstruck Odyssey S tier, Junior High S tier, Fantasy High freshman year A, sophomore year A, Unsleeping City B, and Neverafter C. I don't think Neverafter is a C. It's just comparatively we've put it on a C. So yeah, that's been it for this tier list. Thank you for watching. I've been Icarus from Frog Nation, signing off.